Congratulations again, Colleen. Our next inductee is Rebecca Eric, Vice President in Finance and Business Operations at Lundbeck, Canada. Unfortunately, Rebecca couldn't make it today, one of the few that are sick today, but we're going to present her with her award next year. The next inductee is Brian Honda, founder of the Ad Farm. Presenting the award to Brian is Terry Cully of Ipsen, Canada.
Good afternoon. My name is Terry Cully. I work at Ipsen. But before that, I used to work for Meldrum, Home Health, creative advertising. And Mondays and evenings. Today, I'm honored to be inducted Brian into the Canadian Healthcare Marketing Hall of Fame. Somebody who has shown perseverance, smarts, good sense of humor, and even in adversity has still moved forward, creating what I consider to be the premier independent creative pharmaceutical advertising agency. Brian and I met over 30 years ago when he joined Wyatt Airs Canada. One of that acronym was WACKY, which is a quality heading and senior management that that company had. Brian and I started marketing. I was on the pharmaceutical side, Brian was on the nutritional side, and we quickly became friends as we found out we had a lot of common background, things in common in terms of we both went to the University of Law. And we knew a lot of people together. After 2 years, I moved into advertising, joined HealthWise, and Brian moved over from the nutritional side and took over my role as the head of female healthcare, serving over 1% of the Wyatt. Before I left, I started an agency review, which I didn't have the enjoyment of choosing the agency, but actually I think Brian was involved in that, and he chose Anderson Advertising. Brian worked with Anderson Advertising for 2 years and actually did something very innovative. He created one of the first ads where there was a health-seeking ad and a brand ad in the same publication or in the same advertising rate where the consumers for about 400% of color less. The ad was so effective that decided that they were not alcohol. Brian, from there, he continued to gain experience working with Spur, and I think it was alcohol. What was also interesting then about that time, I met a person called Anthony Phelps, who was running McLaren McCann Healthcare at the time. He was interested in developing a conflict agency to complement his Toyota Zurich. I met with him over lunch, and I thought, this guy's maybe a little bit too weird for me. I'm not sure about this, but I think I know somebody who'd be great for this job. I recommended Brian, and lo and behold, guess who gets the job of president at QH? Brian Harmon. For the next several years, Brian worked with his partner, Nelson Smith, and built up a big and significant business. One of the greatest wins while at that business was the acquisition and the win on Paxil, which at the time was an SD brand and became obviously a GSK brand. Brian also at that time met, they became fast friends with Nathan Nathan. Nathan and Brian, I'm sure over many years, discussions decided that they could do better and decided to open their own agency, the Ad Farm. In 2007 to 2012, Brian and Nathan worked together to build Ad Farm into a significant presence in the marketplace. Sadly and unexpectedly, Nathan died in 2012. Brian faced significant adversity and how to take this agency forward by himself. He took care of the agency family, he took care of Nathan's family, and he took care of his own family. This was a very challenging time for Brian. Brian continued on growing the business organically and through acquisition by Synapse, which for some of you may remember was a significant continuing health education company. He acquired that company and has continued to improve his offering by making it more of a full-service agency in terms of not only creative but also providing insights for advisories and CHU. Brian then sort of realized that he's got to do something more and continue to give back to the agency and also the pharmaceutical world. And so one of the things that he's quite happy about and proud of is the fact that he hires a lot of interns and first-time graduates out of university and gives them opportunity. And these people are most proud of him. In fact, he's done it even with his own family, where he has 2 of his boys, who are here today, working at his own agency. Brian continues to build, continues to work hard, and I consider Brian a good man. So please join me in welcoming Brian into the Canadian Pharmaceutical.
Thank you, Terry. It's a good thing I'm not going to review my career, because Terry did a great job of doing that. Without a note, by the way, that was really impressive. So thank you very much. Terry and I, as you said, we started early in our careers together at Wyatt, and then we became pretty decent competitors towards each other. And so we kind of parted ways, and we really didn't communicate for many years, other than maybe a hockey game or the occasional meal. And it was only a few years ago, it was a mutual friend, Andrew McKechnie, who sells paper tricks, and he brought us together for a lunch, just for a casual lunch. And so it's the first time I'd seen Terry in many years, and we drove up in exactly the same car. And it's only unique in that we drive fairly unique cars. There's probably 10 in Ontario. And so it's like, oh my God. And there was a lot of other similarities in how our careers were parallel. But this isn't about Terry, so thank you. So Vince Carter, I read, just had his jersey retired on the weekend, and I was reading about that, and I had an idea. And so here it is. So I want you all to close your eyes, and I want you to think the lights go down, and it's dark. It's a darkened room, and then one single pin spotlight illuminates me. You can hear the buzz from Transformers, and that light illuminates myself. And there I am standing in the room, and I'm looking up, and I see my jersey, my Hall of Fame jersey being raised to the rafters with my name on it. Mitch, what do you think? What do you think? Hall of Fame jerseys. I'll take that as a maybe. I'll take that under advisement. Well, that's an example of what I've been doing my whole life, is really taking ideas, seeing things that are happening in real life, and then trying to apply it and bring it to the pharmaceutical world, and try to make other people see the light, to put on a bit of a show, to tell a story, to sell through my ideas. And I've spent my whole career doing it, whether it was in sales, or whether I've been as a product manager, working both internally and externally, trying to get reps to follow along with the program. And today, as a president and owner of a company, to try to sell through ideas. That's what I love to do. And here I am today, being inducted, and so I am so honored to be here today. So thank you very much to do what I love to do, which is tell stories and sell great ideas. So I should thank, just like the people before me, I thank the same people. So thank you for the committee of pharmaceutical people, gods, who have inducted or who has brought us into the fold. Thanks to those who have nominated myself, to my many clients over the 30-something years that I've been in the business, and co-workers along the way that I've learned from and taken little bits from each and every one. I thank you all. So as a good marketer, I want to leave you with a couple of three thoughts, because that's what we do. I would say three things. And if I tell you more, you're going to forget them all. But if I tell you three things, maybe you're going to remember those great ideas. Well, you decide for yourself. The three things that I believe has helped propel myself to where I am today, to allow me to have had the success that I have had. And it's been an amazing ride. And I don't mean this to make it sound like it's over, because it's not over, I hope. This is just a path, part of the path. And so, the first one is I was at a meeting. It was on Bristol Circle way back in the day, and I'm sitting in a boardroom, and I swear to God, someone says that they thought that the internet was a fad. That's what they said. And you know what? We didn't really laugh or giggle, because at the time it was like, maybe, I guess, it could be. But that's not the message. What the message is that you have to embrace change. And that's something that I think has helped me throughout my career. It was a bit more difficult when I was younger. When we're young, we're full of piss and vinegar, and when we're doing things the way we're doing them. It's a great example when you talk about being a sales rep. I thought I knew everything as well. So when people try to bring something different on it that was different than the way I was doing, I say, yeah, I know exactly how this is done. But that takes a lot of energy to front a change. Change is very powerful, and as you all know, we're changing even more today in the Canadian farm landscape, and who knows what's going to happen tomorrow after last night. So, change is all around us, but what I have learned is that you have to kind of work with it. And I like to use a judo analogy because, well, look at me, it seems credible, doesn't it? When I say that, when you have that powerful change coming at you, you could try to front it, and that's hard, and you might be able to stave it off for a while, but eventually it's probably going to beat you down. But what I've learned as I've gotten older is that, you can just sort of slip it, just like you would in judo. You just slip your opponent's power, so let the strength and the energy of change just get outside of it, and then grab on from behind and let it take you to where you want to go. So you can take that change along for the ride and use its energy to get you to where you want to go. So that's the first thing, is embracing change. There's this guy, Paul Arden. Paul Arden I think he's still alive. He's a famous creative director, formerly of Saatchi. And he writes books. And I'm not here to tell you to read books, because I only read books with lots of pictures and big letters. And this is one of them, actually. It's a book that he wrote. It's called Whatever You Think the Opposite. And the quote in there, and I might bastardize it, but it goes something like, it's not because you're making the wrong decisions, it's because you're making the right ones. We try to make reasonable, good decisions based on the facts in front of us. The problem with that is so is everybody else. And I love that quote because that's what us right-brainers do. And it gives me the ability to start thinking a little different. And so the take-home message there is simply that, don't be afraid to be different. Whether it's in your lifestyle and how you live, the color of your skin, the gender that you choose, or the work that you do, don't be afraid of being slightly different and making a difference in the world around you. If I just made rational, smart decisions, well, I wouldn't be standing here watching my jersey rise through the rafters with my name on it. It probably has a 24 on it for the year, too. It's a great idea. So that's the second idea, is don't be afraid of being different. The last thought I'll leave you with is to be grateful. Is to be grateful for everything that we have. And I'm super grateful for all that's come and what is going to come from here. Sitting with me today is Amy, who runs the ad farm, and Jay, who runs Synapse Medcom, and I am so grateful to have them, who are really driving the ship, and we're over 50 people now and going strong. And I feel like in many ways it's just the beginning. I don't mean to sell, but you can't take it sales without a sales guy. But I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Next is Dr. Janice Honda. She's my partner, and she's loving and caring and very supportive. She herself is an entrepreneur, veterinarian, and she teaches me every day that the patient comes first, and that's something that we all need to remember. So that's a lesson that I get every day from her. And then lastly, I said to someone earlier outside, I said, hey, bring your kid to school day. And they said, yeah, that's if you're in grade 9. And I'm like, duh, I didn't realize that. Sandra said that to me. But here's Jack and Ben, 2 of my sons, 2 of 3. And they're here not because it's take your kid to school day. They're here because they work at the ad farm now. After brief stints working for major corporations, Ben was at IBM, and Jack was at Frito-Lay, PepsiCo, and they now decided that they're going to give their try at working within this great community of the Canadian pharmaceutical industry. And you know, I feel so blessed to be able to spend this time with them, and so I'm very grateful. So thank you very much.